All right, well, welcome to the song tutorial for Summer Highland Falls. Definitely one of the most sought after tunes for piano players in Billy Joel's entire catalog. This is a somewhat complicated song. I'm not telling anyone that they can't do this. What I'm telling you is that if your skill level is on a very elementary plane, this could take you some time to work up to. I'm just letting you know that. And because there's so many notes involved, okay? I mean, this is how many notes we're talking about. I mean, it's like that all the way through the song. So because of that, I can't really go through and just say out loud every, note for note for note for note for note. I'm going to have you be able to watch some of this visually. I'm going to slow it down and let you see the pattern that I'm playing. I'm going to reference the chord that you're arpeggiating. But for me to go through and try and say C, F, C, F, E, I mean, my heavens, that will actually be more confusing. It'll throw me off, it'll throw you off. So this is definitely a higher level, more advanced song. You can do it. I know you can do it, and you can get yourself through the dip on it, but some of you are going to have to practice more on it than others, depending on where you're at in your skill level as a piano player. That's just the way it is, and I don't want to lie to you about that. So anyway, that having been said, let's get started. What I'm going to do this in sections, and what we're going to work on first is the introduction, which is prior to when he starts singing. So in other words, it's going to be about this far. Excuse me. So we're going to get that far in this first little section, and then we'll move on to what he plays while he starts to sing the song, and we'll just kind of work through it section by section by section. Okay? So, starting out first, oh, and by the way, the good news is there's a lot of repeating in this song, so there are a lot of notes, but there's really only like 3 sections total that you need to learn, and then it's a matter of just playing them again and again and again and again and again. So, that's the good news. We're going to find, first of all, let's look at what the left hand is doing. In this opening salvo, we're not in octaves yet. Okay? What he does is he plays fifths. So we're in the key of F. Okay? So you need to find an F and a C. Like so. For me, here's middle C. So C below that, and then an F below that. And I always say this in all my tutorials, forgive me, I will try to be as clean as I can. Sometimes I make errors and I just own right up to it, and mostly the reason that I make some errors is because I'm constantly trying to keep my fingers in such a way so that you can see the keys that I'm playing. Because if I keep them the way I do when I'm playing, like this, it's a little harder for you to see what I'm doing. Okay, if I'm like this, that's kind of difficult to see, but if I'm like this, see, I'm always trying to keep my hands so that you can see the notes I'm pressing, and I'll do it one hand at a time. But it does cause me to make some errors because it's weird playing like this, you know? It's weird weird playing like this. So forgive me, but I do think in the end it serves you a lot better because you can see what I'm doing instead of just seeing my hand plop down like this and have to guess. Alright? So anyway, now that I'm done saying that, let's move on. So I need you to find a C and an F down here like so. F, C. So your first fifth is here. Then it goes to an A and an E, which is the second fifth right here. So we're dun, dun. Then it goes down to a G and a D here. And then up to a B flat and an F. Then back to an A and an E. Then up to a G or to a C and a G. Then back down to a B flat and an F. Twice. So in other words, at a slow tempo, watch what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then it just repeats that, okay? Okay? Now in the right hand, that's what you're going to do for this left hand. Your right hand is going to be pretty much constantly playing out on, if the tempo is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, okay? You're going to be on eighth notes all the way through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and with little accents depending on what's happening. So what you need to do is you need to find octave Fs, pinky on this one, which is right above middle C, thumb down here, and then I like to put my index finger on this C. So it's a little bit of a stretch, you're doing this. You could do it like this if you need to, I suppose, but I think it's going to make the fingering difficult on the rest of it. So if you can, strive to be like this. And I'm not usually much of a Nazi on fingering, but this particular song is a little demanding in that way. So you're going to start actually with your index finger on C, and it looks like this. Which is C, F, C, F. C, F, C, F. So simply just play that really slow. 1 and 2 and. The next section I'm going to go on and then I'll break it down for you. So the whole first two counts, or the whole first 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so the whole first measure is C, F, C, F, F, C, F, F. C, F, C, F, F, C, F. So watch what I'm doing. Faster tempo, but practice it slow, as however slow you need to go to play it in a smooth tempo. Give yourself a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and as your dexterity builds up when you get to the point where you can go or. You know, so just for fun, put your F and your C down like I did. So just play that line together with both hands. And I think I led you astray earlier. It is your little fifths down here are actually whole notes, not half notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just that when you play it at full tempo, okay, when you play it at full tempo, you kind of feel it in half that time. So it's like, see? So, but for the tempo that we're at now, you need to think of them as whole notes. Okay? So, again, here we are. You're just on the F and the C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, now that we've kind of worked on that part, then when you get to the next chord, which your left hand goes to this little guy, which is A and E. So we've gone. Now I'm going to play through it and then we'll break it down. Okay? E, F, E, C. F, C, F, F. Excuse me, keeping my middle finger out of the way is really tough. Okay. E, F, E, C, F, C, F, F. So play that really slow against A and E. So really what you're doing is you're playing an F major 7th chord over a 3 bass. For those of you who know chord symbols well. Okay, so the whole first 2 lines together look like this in slow motion. Again. Time in slower motion yet. Time. Beg your pardon, that was one of those goofs that I make because my hands are weird. Okay, now that you've learned that, or at least now that there's sufficient material there for you to learn it if you haven't yet, we're going to move on. We're going to move down to this G and D thing. Okay. Okay, the G thing starts right here. It's F, B flat, F. Then back down to F. F, B flat, F, F. Then it's D, C, B flat, C. Okay, so at tempo, or even faster than that. Then the second part of that line, you do the exact same thing, except you move your left hand from a G and a D up to a B flat and an F, and your thumb and your two thumbs basically share this note, this F. So for me, I usually just play this note and play this note in my right hand, and you have your sustain pedal on anyway, so it just kind of rings. But that's how I do it. You know, if you want to, you can. Okay. So remember, it's F, B flat, F, F, D, C, B flat, C. Just do that twice, and underneath it you go G, D, B flat, and F. Okay, so let's look at what we've learned so far all the way through. I'm going to play it really slow. I'm going to play it really slow. One more time through. And one more, 'cause 3 is the charm for you. Okay? The things to watch is that there's a part there where your thumb kind of hits this note twice in a row. So watch where we're at. You might have already gone. That feels weird, but it's right here. So you can do that. That's usually what I end up doing, actually. But it's also important to understand that, you know, with rock and popular music, things don't usually get played exactly the same way twice. I'm teaching you this method so that you have something that can be your kind of, mothership that you come back to. But ultimately, you can vamp on this. Once you get your hand used to kind of wobbling around and playing these eighth notes like that, then you can just say, okay, I'm on an F, F major 7. Then I'm in a G minor 7th. And then a B flat major with a 2 or an added 9. Then I'm on an A minor 7th. Then a C. Then back to a B flat 2. Okay? So you can kind of like formulate that however you want, but I'm just teaching you one way to do it that you can come back to, because I know how confusing it can be when you get started. So if you're not ready to improv on it, don't worry. You can just play it like this. But for our purposes, that's the one thing to watch for that might feel weird, is that you're going to hit that F twice here. So it's... Okay, now we're on to this A minor 7th business. So you're down here on an A and an E. And what your left hand does is that it's on a G, you're on octave Gs, G to C, then up to G, then back down. This is a very important kind of repetitive motif you're going to see, is this whole notion of playing a root, or like a note with your thumb, then a note in between with your index finger, playing the octave with your pinky, and then back down to your thumb. Like, I mean, think about it. Down here you did it on F with a C in the middle. And you did it F, B flat, and F. So it's kind of that's just something for you to kind of keep in mind. We're going to do a lot of that throughout the song. So G, C, G, G. The next line is simply F, E, D, C. So G, C, G, G, F, E, D, C. And remember to come down on that F with your pinky, because then you can just pinky, ring, middle, index. Okay? Even slower. And then you do the same thing, except you move from the A and the E in the left hand to a C and a G right here. And again, you're sharing that G with your thumb, either your thumb and your index or your thumb and your thumb. So for me, I tend to just play the C and play that with my right hand, and it's going to ring because I've got my sustain pedal on. You remember that G, G, C, G, G, F, E, D, C. Even slower. Okay, so let's review. We were here. I'm going to play all the way through that even slower. next line that finishes this phrase out goes like this. Okay, so you're on a B flat and an F in the bass. The line is like this. C, D, F, 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 C, D. So let's slow that down even more. C, D, F, 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 C, D, F. And then again, C, D, F, 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 C, D, F. So here we are, we're over the B flat and the F, and again, you're sharing that note, so I tend to just play it with my right hand and leave the left out of the way. Of course, you don't really start on it here, so you might play it here, but you got to get that finger out of the way so that you can hit it with your right hand. I'll play that slower. You just do it twice with the B flat and the bass. Okay, one more time, really slow. Alright, so let's review. That takes us to the end of that phrase. So let's go back. I'm going to play the whole thing very, very slow, just like I've taught you. Time I'm going to play it even slower all the way through. Okay, I think I'll do it one more time for you because I don't think it ever hurts for continuity. And again, very, very slow. Excuse me, I botched that. Ignore that. Okay, we're going to try that again. what the heck, we'll do it one more time, because you can fast forward if you're bored. But for those of you who just can't get enough of this, to make sure that you get every little intimate detail down, here we go. Take that whole line and you just simply play it a second time, and that's your whole intro. And at speed it looks like this. And I have a tendency, it's like it's so ingrained in me, I start improvising. So I'm going to try to make sure I play it the way I just taught you, because it sounds great that way. I just have a tendency to start ornamenting it all over the place, because I'm familiar enough with the chords and my hands have done it so many times. So once you get that and you work it up to speed, it sounds pretty cool, guys. You just play it twice through. And you're going to make little mistakes. I mean, I still make little mistakes. I've been doing this song for almost 20 years, but it's okay. It's okay. And part of the reason I don't try to edit out every little error that I make is that I want to impress upon people that making mistakes is okay. It's part of being human. All right? Billy Joel makes mistakes. I make mistakes. Elton John makes mistakes. Bruce Hornsby makes mistakes. You know, they all make mistakes, and it's okay. So don't torture yourself if you don't play it perfect all the time. Just keep striving to play it better and let the journey be your reward. So now that you've learned the intro, which is that line that we learned, and then just play it twice, then we're going to move into, in the next section, what we play when the vocals come in and start going. They say that these are not the best of times, but they're the only times I've ever known. And the good news is there's a lot of familiarity there, so I'll catch you in the next section. Alright, well, we're back. For you, it was just an instant. For me, it was like an hour. I went and had some lunch, stretched out, blah, blah, blah. I love technology. Okay. Excuse me. And what we're going to carry on with is, what do we play once the singing starts? You know, they say that these are not the best of times, but they're the only times I've ever known. That part, okay? Now, the good news is it's pretty repetitive. It's very similar to what we've already learned. So, let's get started. First of all, on this first verse, you're going to want to keep on your fifths down here. So, here's kind of where we're starting. Okay, so we start on our F chord, and you're here on F and C. Much like we learned before, you're going to start with this little C, F, F, wait, C, F, C, F, F, C, F, F. And then you move to your A and E and you do this little thing that we learned before, E, F, E, C, F, C, F, F. That's review. We already did that back in the other section. Okay, now we're to the G minor 7th part, where you go to the G and D here, and you have your B flat, F, B flat, F, B flat, F, F. So here we were. Excuse me, so I screwed up there. After we come out of okay, now it's F, B flat, F, F. Then D, C, B, C. So just like we learned before, and then to the B flat, and you do the same thing here. Except now, instead of going here, we go right back to our F. So again, these are patterns that we already had to learn to do the intro. So rather than like rehash every last thing, I'm going to play it slowly. Take a look and see how we're doing the same thing. We're F, then F major 7 over the A. Then G minor 7, B flat 2, and then back to F. So back to F, and then back to your F major 7, and then back to this. Okay, so again, here's where we're headed. When you come in on the singing part, it's just your F, F major 7 over A, then G minor 7, B flat 2, F again, F major 7 again over A, then back to G minor, back to B flat sus 2. Okay, so now instead of walking you through and actually saying it, I'm just going to play it a little bit slowed down without saying anything, and you can watch. So this is right when we go, they say that these are not the best of times. Okay, so time just so you can see, even a little slower. Okay, so we've repeated that. Then we're back to this F thing. Okay, so we're back to that. Excuse me. And then we're back to the G minor again. Now, here's where we finally have a change. Now I go to... Okay, now when we hit these octave C's, here's what's happening. Okay, there's a pattern that goes like this. What we're playing is E, G, C, F, G, C, G, C, F, E, D, C. Okay, now real slow. E, G, C, F, G, C, G, C, F, E, D, C. Watch it real slow. Just octave C's on the bass. Excuse me, I botched that. One more time, real slow. Okay? So in real time, it's like... Okay, now, where does it go from there? You go to octave G's, and the line is A, B, D, G. A, B, D, G. So in other words, in slow here, it looks like this, the whole line. Okay, again. Again. One more time. Okay. 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 So where we move to there is we go up to octave C sharps. Okay. By the way, I think actually I left that out, but you played this already. you're back to this one more time. So you play that once. Then we do our little A, B, D, G, and then you do it again. Okay, so you've gone C's, G's to C's. Now, when you go to your C sharps, it's A, C sharp, E, G. So we've come out of this. Okay, real slow. I'm going to play that whole line so you can see it. One more time slower. Excuse me. Okay, so that's where we're at in real time, but one more time, real slow. Okay, now we're on a D minor chord. So you come to octave Ds, and I play this pattern, which is, so it's F, A, D, C, A, D, F, F, A, D, F, A, D, F, A, D, F, A, D, F, F, A, D, F, A, D, F, A. Okay. Real slow. We come down to a C and we play the same thing up here. We're on a B flat, and then I simply do the same pattern except F, B flat, F, 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 B flat, F, F, B flat, like that. Okay. So here we were. We're on a D minor, which is to C bass. Now B flat. Then you come in on that and it's B flat, A, G. So it's like, watch the left hand. Okay. So under that, you're going. octave G's and you're on a D between G and D, and you do the same pattern. G, D, G, G, D, G. G, D, G, G. Okay. You play through it twice. Watch that whole line again real slow. Okay, one more time, real slow. One more time real slow. Now we're on to a C chord, okay? And in real time it goes. Okay? Slowly, what that looks like is this. So it's kind of like what we learned already. E, G, C, F, G, C, G, G, F, E, D, C. You know, that part. Because we learned it before. And then you stay on a C bass and it's G, C, D, E. Okay, all just over C octaves. Then we go down to a B flat, and we're on that same pattern that we've been on with the F and the B flat that goes. Play through that once. F, F, B flat, F, F, B flat, F, F. Then we do the same thing, only we come down to an A bass and we go between F and C instead of F and B flat. So we were here. Here, then we're right back to the same thing with the B flat in the middle, only with a G bass. So posterity. Excuse me. Now from here we go to C, a C bass, and it's okay, C, G, or excuse, E, G, C, F, G, C, E, C. E, G, C, F, G, C, E, C. E, G, C, F, G, C, E, C. And then from there you just play a B flat chord, which is B flat, D, and F over a B flat bass. And then you play an E flat chord over a B flat bass, which is G, B flat, and E flat. And then back to the B flat chord. And if you want to, you can play B flat chord here, then your E flat chord here, and then resolve to your B flat chord with an F on the bottom, B flat in the middle, and D in the middle, and on top like that. So you're here. Okay. Now, that's a lot of stuff. Now let's watch how that all plays out. I'm going to start on the verse, and you can just watch. I'm going to play it at a slower pace, and you can watch from the very beginning of when he starts singing to where I just got to. Okay? I'm going to do that one more time so you can watch it and get some continuity. Okay. Please pretend like that didn't happen and I'm going to do it again. In fact, I'm going to cut that out. One more time for continuity. And at real speed, it looks like this. I made a few mistakes there, and I apologize, because like I said, once I get going at real speed, it's hard for me to like lock into any one particular way. I'll tend to ornament it a little bit, but it's pretty close. All right, so at real speed, I'm going to do it one more time so you can see how it all fits together. See the sadness, oh euphoria, and you're right back to here. And you're back to that intro. Back and you work on your intro, because that's where you are. The only thing that you might want to do is that he will oftentimes he'll go, see the sadness, oh euphoria, and he'll come in and do something like this. Okay, so I'm going to teach you that. And then it's just a little variation that you do at the beginning of the intro, and then you catch exactly then you catch the G minor down here right where it's at. So what he'll do is go like this. He'll put his hands on octave C's up here, and this is an F bass, and there's a little pickup note down here on a C. But the beginning of the measure, the beginning count of the measure is actually a G, and it's G, A, C, 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 G, A. Excuse me. So that's what I will tend to do, and what a lot of times you'll hear him do is he'll come up and he'll play this little pickup note of a C, and then the beginning of the count, 1 is G, A, C, 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 G, A, C, G, A, C, F, G, A. Watch that pattern. And it's kind of tricky. You just kind of play around with that. Any of these notes, C, F, G, A, and C are all kind of, they're okay to play. But the pattern that you want to make sure you get is... So that is a situation where I've never played it exactly the same way twice. I don't think Billy has either. But for our practices here, let's pick a pattern that I can teach you exactly that way, so you have something you can go back to, and then play around with that. Any combination of these notes and those eighth note patterns is fine. So what you want to do, what we'll work on, is to go like this. So what we're going to do is, it's your little pickup note of C, and it's G, A, C, 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 G, A. Then back to C. C, G, A, C, 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 G, A, C. Then you move to an A bass, and it's G, A, F, C, 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 G, C. Excuse me. Beg your pardon. I'm looking at the view screen, which for me is about that big. Excuse me. Instead of at the camera, or instead of the keyboard, because I'm trying to make sure that the image you see, you can actually see the notes pounding down. So forgive me. Sometimes that aids in my many mistakes. Forgive me. But here we go again. Okay. And it could easily be instead of if you wanted, because that sounds like this. And it sounds fine too. So But play around with that. That's one variation that you can do. And if that's freaking you out and you're not ready for it, skip it. Just go back down and start playing your intro again, which is... at the beginning. So once you go back and look at the intro, and if you do play the variation, you simply you're here on F, and then you're here on the A bass, and then you're back down, and you get back down here for the G minor. Okay. Okay, so that's it. That's just the intro. And the only difference that you make is that once you get past your first, it's either sadness or euphoria. Instead of playing these fifths, now you're on octaves. So it's just F, A, G, B flat, A, C, B flat, you know, so... And then the other thing that I want to tell you is that as you're playing this song, at any time, you know the notes that need to be played. If you start fumbling around, and I mean, here's how I learned how to play this with a little bit more fluidity. I picked a version, like what we're doing here, and I tried to play it the same way every time, and I would make mistakes. Not so much in the notes I was playing, but I'd make mistakes in where they were played. You know, I was supposed to go, and it had come out like this on accident. You know, and it'd just be a little subtlety. Well, guess what? If those notes are all in there and you're playing eighth notes, it really doesn't matter. It'll sound right. You know, when I sit down and play, half the time I'm... You'll find that that's how Billy Joel's doing it too. There's a roadmap, there's a blueprint. You know, the same notes are employed, it's just they might be arranged slightly different rhythmically. So learn it this way, but allow yourself the freedom to experiment with it. You know, as you get it under your hands, once you get used to it, this whole... that pattern is very much what's going on. When you learn how to do that, you know, you're fine. You're fine. This song allows you a little bit of mobility and freedom on that. So, but after you've figured out that sucker, when you get to the very end of the song, okay, you've played the way you end it is you come to a B flat and it's just B flat, A, G, E, F. And all you're doing here, you can just go F, F, B flat, F, F, that thing. Okay. And then I would go G, C, D, E, just an F chord, which is F, A, C, anywhere you want to do it. You can do it here, you can do it here, or you can do it here, okay? And then if you want to have some fun, you just go up here and you go G, A, C, F, and then strum those same notes really fast here. G, A, C, F. Okay. And you can do any combination of sort of, arpeggiating through there. What you're looking for is an F added ninth or F2, which is F, G, A, and C. So you can do, a lot of times at the end of it, you'll hear Billy, he'll be like, and it's all just him playing around with F, G, A, C, F, G, A, C, F, G, A, C, or some version of it could be. I think that what works best you're here F, G, A, C, F, G, A, C, strum, strum. You'll hear that a lot. Because the recording of this on the Turnstiles album, it just fades out. But if you hear him do it live, he'll... Okay, let me do that real slow. Again. Okay? And that's basically everything in the song. The only thing is in the third verse, at the end of the third verse, he'll be going along da da da. Okay, now he kind of extends that whole thing. So instead of it being, in the first verse, I believe what he's saying is, how thoughtlessly we dissipate our energies, reason coexists with our insanity. So we choose between reality and madness. It's either sadness or euphoria. The second time is very similar, but then in the third verse he's saying something like reason coexist. No, how does it say? He goes, perhaps we don't fulfill each other's fantasies, so we stand upon. Now here's what you can do here. You'll hear him do this. You could keep going with the worked on that, but if you want to, when he says, so we stand upon the ledges of our lives with our respective similarities, it's either sadness or... Now what you can do is when you get to that part, so we stand, what you can do is basically play B flat chords and play them in octaves like this. So you're here, which is like B flat, D, and F. And it's 1, 2, and then you play the same thing an octave higher on 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, or actually 1, 2, 1. Then it's an F chord, which would be like A, C, F. Then back to this B flat, D, F. And then to a C, which is C, or G, C, and E. Then you're to B flat, it's just the strum. And then you actually go to a C chord. It's either sadness, and you just play it like that. It's either sadness or euphoria. And then you go out, then you start your fade out with the whole or. Okay, so let me play that really slow. Watch what he's doing. So da 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 da. Perhaps we don't fulfill each other's fantasies, so we stand upon the ledges of our lives with our respective similarities. It's either sadness or euphoria. So that's one thing that you can do. It's a little bit of a variation that he does at the end, just to add a little bit of punch and a little bit of, something special to it. Okay, so now that we've kind of learned those sections, I'm just going to kind of play through the whole song. I do not have the lyrics in front of me. I can't remember all of them, and this is a little bit on the high side for me anyway, so I'm not really going to sing it, but I want you to see how the song is put together at full speed. So we start out with the intro that we've learned. So we'll argue and we'll compromise and realize that nothing's ever changed. For all our mutual experience, our separate conclusions are the same. Now this is like a verse when you get here. This is not like the intro. This is the verse because there's that saxophone solo going on over the top of it. So you play the chord changes of a verse. Comes in for the final da 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 da. Perhaps we don't fulfill each other's fantasies, so we stand upon the ledges of our lives with our respective similarities. It's either sadness or euphoria. Congratulations. It may take you some practice. It certainly took me some practice to perfect this, and I haven't perfected it yet, but to get it under my fingers. But you just learned everything you need to know to play Summer Highland Falls. I hope you found this valuable. Please visit me online at pianomansteve.com, and as always, send me your requests. Let me know which tutorials to do next. And let me know what worked and what didn't work. Your feedback will always be what makes my business better. So have a great day, gang, and I hope you enjoy it. Long live Billy Joel. Piano Man Steve, signing out. Take care, gang. Oh, and remember, if you're not having fun when you're making music, you're doing it wrong. Have a good one.